Welcome to Superhero Stuff You Should Know, and this is the man who knows too much about the unmade Batsuits. This is Ben Wan, and with me is the Goose Egg.
Andrew Gooseegg McJohnson at your service. I've changed my name legally again, just for this episode. And look who's here. It's old Nipple Man himself.
There's nothing like an anatomically correct rubber suit to put fire in a girl's lips, boys.
Is that a quote
Amazing.
from one of the fucking movies?
That is from Batman and Robin. That's a
Robin.
Poison Ivy quote.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Do you have that movie fucking memorized?
Not as much as the other Batman movies, but
89,
there's some
yeah.
lines that don't leave your brain, and that's one of them.
I remember
That's
leaving the
perfect
theater
line
of
for
that
this
fucking movie and being like, I was like 11, and I was like, Poison Ivy blew too much of that shit out of her mouth. That was my main comment for that movie when I was a kid. Anyway, Ben, take it away.
Yes.
Yes.
So today we're going to be covering all the unmade Batsuits. We covered unmade Batmobiles last time. Now it's unmade Batsuits. And keep in mind, like the others, this is heavily visual based. We will try our best to describe them for the listeners. But since these are the unmade ones, as we're pulling up here, with the thumbnail, thanks to Zach.
Imagine
these
lots
are...
of nipples.
Yes.
Just get that going in your mantra, nipples.
So, like last time, we don't have a formal tier maker thing, but we'll still be grading those suits as they come in because it just makes for fun discussion.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I got a grade.
Yes. I split this up into two sections. So, first half, we're going to be going over the concept art for Batsuits in movies and TV shows that we already know and were made. For the second half, we're going over the unmade Batsuits for unmade movies. So, even if you've listened to our coverage on things like Darren Aronofsky's Batman Year One or George Miller's Justice League Mortal, these are specifically the Batsuits designs that we didn't really get to talk about in those episodes, and you'll get to see in the YouTube version here. So, I thought that would be a cool way to split it up this time. So, let's get right into it. We're going to go through the unmade adaptations first. I mean, the unmade Batsuits for adaptations that were actually made first. We don't have any pictures of other designs for the 1940s serial, but we do have one for the 1966 show. The original Adam West suit was actually going to be very different in its design. Zach sounds like he's seen this before. But
I believe I have, yep.
here it is.
Man.
We're looking at an early suit Adam West wore in a screen test with Burt Ward. I'm assuming this was designed by Jan Kemp, who did the main costume for the show, but it looks a lot closer to the 1940s serials. The ears are longer, floppier and bunny-like, so not very intimidating. The bat symbol on the chest is a lot different. Instead of a small bat on the yellow oval, instead it's a giant bat, no oval, and a lot of spikes on the bottom, which kind of ruin it for me personally. But
Yeah,
I'm glad we got what we got. What do you guys think of this?
you got Zach.
It's interesting to look at. I agree with Ben. It is very close to the serials. I saw this too. I think it came with like the big set I have of the 66 series on DVD. There's like a bonus feature thing, and I remember seeing the screen test for this, and it might be in the book about the series. But yeah, I don't hate the logo on the chest if it had less spikes. It's kind of neat to think of them having a bigger, just black like bat logo. But yeah, the like ears that are so much like the cereal, it just does not look good. They're like very off kilter and like bunny horns. They're like almost like horns. They're kind of conical or something. But
Demonic
they are,
bunny.
Yeah, it's not as good as what we ended up with.
Yeah. Andrew?
I mean, yeah, it's like, to describe to the listener, it's like a little bit, it's like a right in between the serials and the Adam West suit. Like the Cowl's got the eyebrow markings or whatever on it, and I don't know, it's pretty close, but they did change it they made good changes. This symbol I don't like at all. It's got way too many, what do you call it, point scallops or whatever it is.
Yeah, they could have just made it just the 3 points, the standard 3 points.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's a little off. And am I wrong? Is the utility belt lower on the one in the actual show? Or did he have those?
I feel like
granny
it's higher
panties?
in the show. He's always got it up like high under his nipples.
It may look different. Yeah, it might look different in this one.
we make fun of this, but I will say though, like, if it's this high, it's actually better for your back, right? It's like a weight belt. You know what I mean? Like, there's in these old ass grandpa designs, they had something going on there. You know, there was something anatomically good about it, good for your back. But anyway,
I do think Zach might be right. It might be lower.
And I do notice something. The belt, like the utility belt compartments, the opening is on the top, where in the show they switched it around and made them upside down so that when he opened it, it fell, whatever was in them fell into his palm.
Oh,
that is something I noticed.
That's cool.
I always thought that was actually incorrect or something, but yeah, when you watch him in the show, it just falls out. But it's cool to imagine this as being like Adam West Batman early years or something like that. Like,
I was gonna say that.
He's just started out crime fighting, or he's like kind of midway through.
Ward.
So,
yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
Grant Morrison's probably got a whole run for this guy right here.
Just for this suit. Yeah.
Just for this suit, yeah.
Adam West was also not the only one to wear this.
What?
This is Lyle Waggoner, who wore the suit when he auditioned for the role. In this shot here, where he hadn't put the bottom of the cowl together, and this is with Peter Dale as auditioning for Robin. So this could have been the Batman and Robin from the 1960s. Lyle Waggoner, the Batman actor, would go on to play Steve Trevor in the Linda Carter Wonder Woman show. So he did end up getting some part to play in the DC universe. But
that's cool.
This is the screen test stuff. And if you haven't seen the screen test, they're interesting because they're very serious in tone, is what I've noticed.
They are.
Those. It's almost like, I know we keep bringing this up in different shows, but it's almost like an alternate universe 1966 show where things were played a little bit more straight, a little bit noirish in a way. So it's kind of weird to look at it now, and like the humor is just not really there. And it's like, if we look at this Batcave, it's a lot darker than the one in the 60s series. And I don't think Robin is as, like, you know, with the holyisms and stuff. I don't think he's really doing that type of stuff as much in there. So it's kind of a weird thing to see, kind of cool thing to see as well. And another thing, there's a toy.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Oh.
And to be honest, I kind of dig it as a toy.
No, yeah, it's kind of cool.
The ears look better.
It passes the toy test for sure. Yeah, that's cool.
As a toy, it looks cool. Maybe on Adam West, it looks silly, but as a toy, you're just like, oh, this is like a year one Adam West suit. So, if I were to rank this one, I would probably put the West one as like an A for its time. So, if I were to grade this one, it'd probably be a C.
Oh, Zach?
I give it a B. Yeah, I don't think it's terrible, and the differences between this and the final Adam West costume are very little. There's very little difference. It's just like the ears and the logo and the belt, kind of like the compartments for me. So I still think it's a pretty cool Batman costume, especially for live action. So probably like a B minus, because I really don't like the floppy ears. That's the one thing I don't like about the cowls. The cowls and the cereals. It just does not look intimidating.
Yeah. Andrew?
As a toy, A. As a suit, C plus. Just you know, I don't like the extra points and the floppy ears like everybody else.
Yeah. If they were straight up like on this toy, then it'd be fine.
Cool. It'd be cool, yeah,
it'd be
for
cool.
sure.
Especially the silhouette he would strike if you do that in the show.
Yeah,
it reminds me of like the early Batman like costume. I think it does seem more like horns, like in the first couple issues of Batman, rather than like straight up and down ears like we're used to now.
Yeah, but I really dig this as a headcanon version of like year one for Adam West, where he was going out in this costume and stuff.
By the way, when did he start saying "holy this, holy that"? Burt Ward, was that him
episode.
or was? And that was what the writer wrote, or is that just
Burt
Ward improv?
I assume it's what the writer Lorenzo Semple Jr. wrote, but I don't know I don't think that was something that Burt Ward came up with.
Okay, all right,
but I might be wrong. We'll see.
Was that in the comics, Ben?
Not really.
Did that start in the show?
It definitely started with the show. I don't remember that being a thing in the, like, if you read the 1950s and 1960s comics pre-1966, that doesn't seem to be a thing. All right. Well, we go from the 60s show to a very different adaptation, which is the 1989 movie, and it was going to look very different because they experimented with making him blue in the 1989 movie. So this is concept art from Bob Ringwood that we're looking at, and it's pretty much the classic Batman suit with blue and gray and the yellow oval with the black bat on it. There's a couple things here. I mean, one aspect is though that's very different from the comics. If you look closely on the right, the bat insignia on his chest has eyes.
I do like that kind of.
I saw that in so many concept sketches. It's strange.
Yeah. It is strange. Funny. It's funny. I don't know if I really need that at all.
Yeah, I understand.
Another thing is that you'd notice that the eyes are white, which is what you see in a lot of the concept art we're going to look at, which might be because they're conveying the comics, but the screenplay by Sam Hamm does say that he does have lenses with in the scene where Batman confronts the mugger in the beginning, where he's about to say, I'm Batman. It says the mugger, quote, looks up and sees in the mirrored lenses where Batman's eyes should be the twin reflections of his own stricken face, which is pretty cool, but I don't think they would have pulled that off as well in 1989 versus like now if they wanted to do that.
That's cool.
This image up above is by David Russell. Similar thing where it's a blue Batman, but if you notice, the insignia for the chest is closer to the one in the movie with the extra points. So I'm not sure if we really need to rank these because I mean this is pretty much the comic book Batman.
Yeah, it looks like Neil Adams Batman.
S.
Yeah.
S.
Even with the little eyes on the insignia.
Well, maybe S minus, but still.
S
good.
Minus, yeah. Yeah, it's good shit.
What do you want? This is fucking Batman right here, right?
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it would have been really interesting if they did pull off the blue and gray in 1989. It would have changed a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine it.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with Andrew. My main thing is the eyes on the insignia, and even that's like such a small thing that I'm like, if I can excuse the rubber nipples and the Schumacher suits, I can excuse little tiny eyes on the chest.
Little tiny eyes, man. It's like a little humor.
Even smaller than the rubber nipples. So
yeah.
Even the Bat logo has nipples. Along with the eyes.
On the bat chest.
Right here. Yeah. Where would you rank these blue suits, Zach? It's like basically assuming they're all in one.
Yeah, I give it an A+. I just don't like the little eyes. I've seen a couple of the other concept art sketches of the Burton outfit, and I always think that's such a weird choice. Yeah, I don't mind the scallops. Experimenting with those is kind of neat as long as they're round. But otherwise it's great. I mean, it's just a classic Batman.
Yeah. Well, we're going to look at the one that's closer to what we got, which is the black rubber suit look. Another one by Bob Ringwood right here that we're looking at, which is basically the design. It doesn't show the cape, but I think he just wanted to do the bodysuit. And this is where like the rubber muscles come in. The ab area is a little less anatomically correct than what we got in the movie, where it's got like these weird sections on there. That's a little closer actually to what he did in Batman Returns, which is what he says here, where I have this caption from the Instagram account Burton's Gotham that states that this is from pre-production and that, quote, the belt was changed from an electronic one to the one we all know. The design was modified early in production and became more muscular, although I did get it more like my original concept when we did Batman Returns. So this is almost both pre-Batman 89, but also pre-Batman Returns in a way with the suit. And if you look real closely, you can also see the white eyes on the insignia.
Yep.
And then on the bottom, it says, to my friend Bob Ringwood, Batman's wonderful costume designer, Bats wishes Bob Kane. Which with the Bob Kane signature on the bottom, it almost seems like Bob Kane saying that he did this.
Yeah.
yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But
oh my god.
This is pretty much what we got in the movie, except the different ab area and obviously no eyes on the chest insignia. I don't know if there's really much we can grade on it other than those two changes. I prefer the one in the movie, I would say. But it's still pretty much an A or S minus.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Need to see the cape, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. We'll see more in this next one. But Zach, you think pretty much the same way?
Yeah. I think it's kind of like the one in the movie is better because it's just a little simpler as far as the texture goes. I feel like it's I don't know. You kind of get into that same issue where you don't like the Dark Knight outfit compared to Batman Begins, and it's like it's just adding texture for texture's sake. Like, what is the
Mhm.
meaning of all the plating if it's just something that could be under a smooth surface?
Yeah, yeah. Like we're looking at the chest area where there's these like horizontal lines that go across, almost like trying to convey muscle fibers, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, I think
But
so. That.
we were fine with it just being a plain chest in the movie.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But they do continue that idea of the muscle fibers in this next one that we're looking at, which is pretty close to the other one, as well as a full suit that we're looking at, which really has, I don't know why there's these lines across. Maybe that's part of the watermark across his
I think it's
body.
supposed to mimic it being metallic, like there's a sheen going across it or something.
Weird. Yeah. And there's almost bluish type of tint to the color of the cowl and the cape, at least, with a gray for the body on this. But yeah, pretty much the same stuff over here. And then we'd find the Batman Returns suit was a version of what we saw. But yeah, this is kind of a situation where you can see the development of the 1989 Batsuit and how we got what we got. These are pretty close, I'd say, just with
Hmm.
different colors and a little less of the same texture on here. All right. Shall we move on to the next one? I don't think we really need to
Yes.
grade this one so much. Next one, since Batman Returns, this suit was kind of based off of these early designs. We don't really have much more on that, but we do have one for the movie after, designed by Bob Ringwood, sculpted by Jose Fernandez, who would eventually be the one to sculpt the Batfleck costume too. But this is the Batsuit sculpted for Michael Keaton for Batman Forever. This suit famously went around the internet with basically a sculpt of Keaton's head on a bat suit that is not like the bat suits from the ones he wore in the Burton films, but looks a
Hmm.
lot closer to the one from the ending of Batman Forever. And this has sort of famously gone around the internet as like this was the suit that Keaton was going to wear in Tim Burton's Batman 3. And I'm just like, well, not necessarily, as I covered in my video essay on the myth of Tim Burton's Batman 3. If you look closely, this pretty much looks like the Sonar suit from
Hmm.
the end of Batman Forever, because in reality, they were thinking of Keaton when they were writing the script. And at the end, he changes suits. So this is pretty much the Sonar suit from the end of that, but with the standard oval bat symbol on the chest as opposed to the big one on that. And then there's another one that goes around as well that kind of looks like pretty much it's got the Batman Returns insignia on the chest with a more anatomically correct body, and the utility belt's a little different. As I
That one
also
looks more
covered,
like the Panther suit, I think.
yeah, a little bit, yeah.
What was supposed to be the Panther suit, I guess, for him.
What's interesting too is that while everyone chalks this up to being like this was Tim Burton's Batman 3, Jose Fernandez's website on Ironhead Studios has this listed under Batman Returns. So that adds another
Hmm.
wrinkle in this, where this might have been
Oh.
early designs for Batman Returns, or Fernandez just mixed it up. I don't know. I'd like to think that the man himself knows when he did what, but I'm sure he's done a shit ton of movies that I'm sure
Yeah.
there's some stuff blends together.
Mhm.
And the last thing on this is that Daily Batman Anthology, our friends on Twitter, pointed out that this may have been the inspiration for the Kenner toy of the Sonar sensor Batman. As you can see, it has a very similar torso area
Hmm.
of the Sonar design.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So this is sort of the mysterious Michael Keaton sculpt of all this, and I think that it's okay. It's not my favorite at all. I prefer the ones that Keaton actually wore. This is kind of like an early Sonar suit that I'm not the biggest fan of, probably because of just it's like the beginning of this more like overly armored and overly textured bat suit type stuff. Kind of stems from this early one. The main difference here is this chest logo being a little bit more traditional, which I'm
Hmm.
fine with if they did have it being black on yellow. If it's just the actual bat on the chest and there's no coloring to it, I'm just like, what's the point of having the bat on there? So for me, this one's like I don't know, it's like a B minus to me.
Hmm.
What do you guys think, Zach?
I actually really like this sculpt. I wish I could see it fully realized as like with Michael Keaton's head cast and a cowl that is accurate to his
Mhm.
proportions. Like, I would like to see what it looks like fully cast, like a real costume. just so I could see it as it was, I guess, meant to be, like, cinematically. But overall, the sculpt is pretty cool to me. I do like that it's going in a new direction. It's just really hard for me to imagine Michael Keaton in it. And I feel like the Kilmer cowl, the neck is more slender than the Keaton cowls. Like, you know, I love it and you love it. We love it. It just feels like it's very like straight down. There's not a lot of like indentation in his neck, so it's hard for me to imagine this because the sculpt on the body makes him look leaner or something, just like a little bit less bulky. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think I would either give it a B plus or an A minus. I think it's still really cool, and it's a very like, you know, nice sculpt to look at. So it's just interesting. I think it's because I have a soft spot for Batman Forever that I'm just going to give this one a little bit of a boost because it's in that world.
I also think the sonar sensor, I think I like it on the sonar sensor Batman more than the sculpt itself because it's incomplete on the sculpt. So it's kind of hard to tell. And then you kind of see a little bit more of what it would look like. It even looks kind of more like Keaton than Kilmer on the box art.
I was just looking at that. Yeah, it does.
It's got his lips.
Yeah, for sure. Because they make this stuff way early on.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I mean, I think this is kind of just before things got really out of hand with the overly designed shit. This is still in my realm of acceptability for the most part. I mean, look at the toy. The toy's perfectly fine, I think. I mean, this is... I probably had this one. I can't remember. But I had a couple from Batman Forever. So, yeah, I mean, it's like a minus to me.
Gotcha.
B plus, maybe. I don't know. One of those.
Nice.
I like it.
All right. Cool. The next one we have after this is concept art from Batman and Robin. Though some say that some of the stuff is from Batman Forever as well. Our research assistant Dan found it on the site 1997 Batman, which has all this concept art by Miles Tevis that we're going to look at. And the first one makes Batman look butt-ass naked, in my opinion.
This is really thin.
He's lanky.
He's got no cape. He looks just super thin. Probably because I feel like Clooney might have been the lankiest out of the Batman of the 90s. I could be wrong on that, but I just get that feeling. And this is just kind of the general musculature, I guess, concept art that we're looking at. And again, the white eyes, but that's mostly because of probably because it was concept art, you know? So I don't know if we really need to grade this one because it's not really complete. Maybe we should just do it for the ones that are like complete.
This looks like go ahead, Zach. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say it looks like the toy line I told you guys about that was like Legends of the Dark Knight, where they were like really tall and buff. Like he kind of has like the Scarecrow's physique, and that is just really tall and lanky and stretched out.
Right.
Yeah. It looks like he's been stretched out. It just throws you off too much.
The
anatomy's, I don't know. Well, it's not. I don't know if it's wrong. Oh, it's wrong for Batman. I mean,
it's very model-esque.
Yeah. Looks like he's like 7 feet tall or something.
I do like those little scallops on the back of his boots and on his. That's kind of interesting. I wish that was on action figures, but never ended up in a movie or anything.
Catch the cape, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably.
It is
unless
cool.
The cape was shorter, but then that would kind of look dumb too.
Yeah, on this kind of style anyway, probably.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, let's look at more complete ones. Starting with this one that kind of looks like the Sonar suit from Batman Forever, except chest logo is different. We got these dime quarter size nipples right here.
The nipples are coming in.
Again, this is along the lines of the Sonar suit in a way, with all the different like lines all over the place and stuff. We still got those boot gauntlets that Zach.
They're like ice blades now, like ice skates on the gauntlets and the boots.
That's true.
Except the skates are behind his calves as opposed to on
he could lay on his back boots and skate around.
Toboggan Batman, dude.
Yeah.
Sled Batman.
And I guess I was right. The cape is shorter so that it doesn't get caught on those leg gauntlets. Yeah, there's something off about that too. It looks a little short.
Yeah, it looks more gray than black or blue to me as well.
like
just
a
an
navy.
all gray suit.
Yeah, it's like so the color's a little bland to me, but I mean I don't know. I mean, it's not the worst one ever, but yeah, it's a little awkward. I wouldn't want this to be the movie one for sure.
Yeah.
D.
Yeah, I'd go for maybe like a C- myself.
Yeah, I was going to give it a C+ or something. I don't know. I like the concept art from Batman and Robin. It's interesting to see like them pushing more towards blue. I know for that movie, like the blue black. So I agree with Andrew. I don't think I want it to be anything that's in the actual movie, but I certainly like the idea of using it for an action figure because it's just. I feel like that's where these kind of like unused concept art or costumes could really shine because like, hey, it's just a toy. This is just like a variant costume for Batman. So yeah, it's kind of interesting with that.
Yeah, I also think it makes him look more badass than Clooney's Batman in the movie.
He's got them blades. He's gonna
That's true. That's true.
see their faces and slice them up. Frostbite's face. Those hockey team from Hell players.
That's how you fight off Freeze's goons.
Yep.
So yeah, this is a little bit more hardcore. The next one is closer to what we got in the movie. A little closer, yeah. A little bit more of the Sonar suit. We still have those calf gauntlet things. And
they really wanted those.
Yeah, geez. But yeah, the ab area is a little bit more anatomical on this. This looks like the Sonar suit, but also what's kind of cool to me about this is it's kind of grayish, but it also could have been like white and black, which might have fit the snow stuff a little more, where like that would actually be camouflage in this case.
That's cool. I like this big bat symbol too on his chest.
Yeah, me too.
That's cool. This one is better.
This one's better,
yeah, for sure. It's still mostly bluish gray all over.
Yeah, and a bit of white
like
and silver
blue.
too. Yeah,
icy blue. Yeah, so
maybe like a metallic blue. I think.
Yeah.
I would have been fine with this if this is the finale of Batman and Robin, where there's like ice everywhere and that type of stuff.
Yeah, if he went from having a black Panther suit with the yellow logo, like in Batman Forever, and then at the end had like a blue metallic suit, I think that would have been cool.
Oh, dude, I've always thought this. Like going back to historical ninja shit, the historical ninja would wear like a full white suit in snowy areas. So I always wanted there to be a Batman. I'm sure there's toys and shit, but like think of a third act where they do the suit reveal and it's a snowy ass area and he's wearing a fully white Batman suit, but like it makes fucking sense because of where he is.
Like Night Owl at the end of Watchmen. I always like that outfit.
Yeah.
I think this is the closest we're going to see to that concept art wise.
Yeah.
On that, like you could picture this, and I think it makes more sense than the one in the movie where it's like this silver and blue thing, and I'm just like, why does it have to be like that?
It's like
why can't it
silver
just be like
plating over the Sonar suit. I hate
much,
that suit.
Too much.
I'll give this one a B+. It's pretty solid. I think I like it.
Yeah,
what do you guys think?
Give it an A-.
A-. Okay, B.
I like it.
All right, cool. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, it's almost. I kind of like it even more than the actual Sonar suit in Batman Forever in a way. Well, probably because of the black bat instead of the one that's just sort of blended in a way. So that's probably why.
I gave it an A- because this one has no nipples.
Oh, that's true.
Kind of
There's
unique,
no nipples on this.
For a Batman
also like the Sonar
concept.
suit. Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, technically, the one at the end doesn't have nipples either. The blue
no, it is literally that Sonar suit. Do you know, Ben? There is like a scene at the end where it actually has the silver plating off of it when he's given out for the medicine. So it literally is the Sonar suit. Yeah,
just colored up.
Yep.
All right. Here's one that's definitely from Batman and Robin. So
awesome.
you got the nipples. You got what's mainly different is we got a silver bat,
silver on black,
a black oval, as opposed to the basically black on black that we got in the movie on that, which I think is kind of cool on it. Everything else is pretty close. We've got I don't remember if these are in the movie. I don't think he has these bat
I don't think
insignias.
So. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of pointless, but it's still cool.
So let's explain that to the listener real quick.
Yeah.
So he's got like the bat symbol shape for the top of the boot, the top of the boot that comes all just below the knee.
Yeah.
So we got 2 extra bat symbols there.
But they blend in. They are like the same color as everything else.
Yeah, they blend in. And this is a mostly dark blue?
Yeah.
Dark blue, black.
Dark blue.
Dark blue, black with a silver bat symbol and with nipples on the suit. And yeah.
He roundhouse kicks them so hard he leaves the bat insignia.
Well, I will say,
you gotta protect the shins, man.
I will say that the Batman Returns boot has a bat symbol on it. It's just above where the foot meets the I guess going up into your shin there. I know that's yeah, that's different than the. I don't think they had that in the '89 costume, but I really like that it's kind of on the shin plate, that bat logo. It's just much smaller.
That's kind of cool, though. Yeah, I haven't thought about having a bat insignia on the boot, but if you're going to do it, I kind of like how it's blended in here.
I think he should have one on his heel too, so that when he runs, he leaves the bat logo everywhere, just
so
like his car.
It's all about merchandising.
That's right. Batman stepped here.
And also the cape is longer than the other ones that we were looking at, so that's cool.
Because it doesn't have the back fucking whatever you call it,
the
cap, scallops,
the boot
calf
gauntlet.
Yeah,
it's kind of impractical.
I don't know if you need the boot. Well, this piece, I know this from at my work, but if it's just the piece that covers the shin, they're called greaves. But I think it's a boot. It's just a boot if it's connected to the shoe. But if it's like a shin guard kind of thing, disconnected from the shoe, they're greaves.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Interesting. Yep. What would you guys grade this one? I would say I'll give it a B+. I mean, I like it. It still has the rubber nipples, but that was never a huge drawback for me. I kind of like the silver bat. I usually don't like it, but for here, it looks cool to me. Cape is scalloped, and I like the bat insignia on the boots, as unnecessary as they are. It's just there's something cool about it. Zach, what do you think?
No, I'm going to give this one an A too. I like it. I really like that it's a slightly darker blue. It looks blue-black, just like the one in the film, and I like the addition to the boots. I don't particularly like the silver on it. I wish it was either the same color like it is on the film, or a yellow oval with the blue-black bat on it. So I don't know, just the silver. It seems kind of random, because there's only silver there and then silver on his belt buckle. So yeah, it's just that's what throws me off. But I like the rest of it.
Andrew,
I don't love the bat on the boot thing. I think you guys like that more than me, maybe. But
it's completely pointless. But yes,
yeah, it's just we don't need. We already got 2 on one on the chest, one on the belt. I like that positioning, but not on the boots for some reason. But I like the color, and other than the nipples and the boot thing, it's pretty solid. So I don't know, it's like a B.
Nice, cool. So I'd like some version of this and throughout the movie, and then maybe that eye suit thing that we were talking about, towards the end. I think that would have been better than what we got.
Yeah.
So before we go on to the next official one, I will have a disclaimer. I don't usually include fan films in this type of stuff, because this it starts overcomplicating it, because there's so many out there, and how many do you include and stuff. But I will say I'll include this one, and you'll see why. One of the biggest ones was a movie called Batman Dead End in 2003 from Sandy Collara, and starred an actor named Clark Bartram as Batman, fighting against Joker, Alien, and Predator. Clark Bartram, however, was not the original choice for Batman in that fan film. Did you know this, Zach?
I did not.
Okay. The original choice for Batman for that movie, and almost made it happen, was Sylvester Stallone.
Whoa.
So these are sculpts for Stallone in the Batman cowl, as revealed in a behind-the-scenes documentary for the film. This collage specifically was put together by Ryan Unicombe, who I'll mention later because he's the guy who's doing the documentary on Justice League Mortal. And in the same documentary, they reveal that with Stallone on board, the choice for Joker was none other than Mark Hamill. So we could have gotten Sylvester Stallone versus Mark Hamill as Batman and Joker in a fan film, which sounds insane. But
that's crazy. This guy that directed it, he was an effects guy, right?
Yeah.
That's why he had access to all
Pretty
these
sure.
suits and the fucking can make a cowl and shit.
Yeah. So what we're looking at here is pretty close to what we got in the movie, the fan film, because it had a lot of the indentations in the cowl that made him look angry. And then they were definitely playing with the white eyes. They put white lenses in Clark Bartram's eyes to sort of give that effect in the movie. And you can kind of see the likeness of Stallone in the lips and the chins here. But I thought, you know what? I should include it for this one. It's not technically an official Batman thing, but it's such a mind fuck of a trivia note that it's hard to pass up. So
it is cool looking.
Yep, it is. Yeah. So let's now go on to the next real Batman movie, which was the Batman Begins movie, which has some concept art, but most of the concept art stayed pretty true. Like the movie was pretty true to the concept art. This is by Simon Maguire. As you can see, pretty close. There are two subtle differences. One, once again, we get the wide eyes and the faraway shots, but if you can see on the top right, there's a shot of the cowl that just shows the eyes. So I don't think they were actually thinking of doing the wide eyes, but it's just there in the concept art. But the other thing that is kind of hard to tell in these shots is that I believe the bat insignia is black on gray, as opposed to being the same color. Like in the movie.
Stand out,
yeah, it stands out a little more, as you can see in the one in the main middle one. You kind of see it. It's a little hard to tell though. Another thing I just noticed, I didn't realize this until looking at it now. The cape is a lot more jagged. Like it looks like it looks like Bruce literally took a pair of scissors and tried to cut a design in it. It's not as refined and scalloped as the '90s Batman Batsuits, but it's not just plain. Like I feel like it's almost like a velvet curtain. It's like a velvet curtain in some shots of the this Batsuit, but it looks. I kind of like this jagged look, but I also kind of don't like it at the same time. It's kind of a cool homemade feel in the middle shot, but then the one on the bottom right where it looks like someone's ripped up laundry as his cape on the bottom ones. To me personally, so
that's true.
I'm 50-50 on it. At least there's some scalloping on this. So I don't know. I'll still give it an A. I still like it. I do like the Begin suit more than the Dark Knight suit. And this is pretty much the Begin suit with a little bit more comic accuracy. So I'd still say it's pretty solid. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah, I would give it an A too. I like the suit in Begins. I remember being really into it and kind of being... It didn't, like I said, I didn't notice it as much when I watched The Dark Knight, but then looking back later, I think he looks like a little more intimidating in the Begin suit. I think they gave him... I mean, I know that he worked out and he's muscular, but he just seems bigger, and I think it's the neck.
Yeah.
I think it's the neck, the thick neck on the Begin suit.
Panther neck, yeah.
Which probably keeps him from turning like everybody else.
I know.
But something about it just looks like he's ugh. He's ready to beat some ass.
Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look... The cape doesn't... I mean, it's jagged, but when he's spreading it apart in the middle there, it looks
better, yeah.
Okay, but some of these other shots, it's they drew it well, the wind is fucking it up or something. It's really bad angle, but it's just dude, you could draw this to where it doesn't look quite as fucked up.
Right.
You know? So... Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's A minus, something like that.
Also got this nice butt shot right here.
Yeah, we got some Nightwing butt going on. The ears. This is the only ears we've ever seen that kind of come in a little bit like that.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. That's in the Begins cowl.
Yeah, it's kind of it's interesting. It looks. I don't know what I think about it actually. It's okay. It's A minus overall.
Yeah. I have a couple other shots, but it's pretty much the same stuff, a little bit neater scalloping. Down here. A little darker just overall. I think you can still see the black bat over it, but it's kind of hard to tell whether it would be defined.
I wonder what it would look like if the bat was coppery or gold like the suit, or had a lighting on it or something.
To give you guys a inside look into the effects world. One thing I was been surprised about is not surprised, but it's been interesting to see up close is generally once you get the concept design, the final concept design, it's that's the Bible. You follow that to a motherfucking T.
Right.
Like there's no like, well, we got this, but then we'll kind of play with it once we get the actual materials. Like, nope, that we're making this picture right here.
Mhm,
You know what I mean? Generally, that's what I've gathered anyway. So yeah, that's probably the same across the board. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, so this is kind of why this looks so close to what we got in the movie.
Yeah, if this is final concept design for it, yeah, this, I mean, they're trying to copy this exactly.
Yeah. We've got this other shot here.
That's cool. I like this one more.
Yeah.
More jagged with a cape, but it kind of weirdly works with this darker, rundown Gotham in the background.
Dude, this is pretty cool art. I like this kind of style of art too. I think. What is this like? What is this, Zach? Watercolor?
I don't know. This looks slightly digital to me. Like
digital.
I've seen a lot
Probably
of the
mixed.
artwork, or I've seen a lot of the concept art for Batman Begins, and I noticed like basically Batman and Robin. I can still tell that they are traditionally like creating it. It might be like a gouache, but once I start seeing this and then the Batman versus Superman, it definitely is kind of like a mixture. There's some digital rendering in there, especially for the background. Which they might have painted it digitally using like a stylus, but it's not a.
I think it's a mix.
It's traditional.
One thing I'm noticing too, like pre Batfleck, every Batman was like kind of on the thinner side, right? I mean, they were a little buff, but like Batfleck changed every. It's like Batfleck comes out and like erased everybody's memory. Of what Batman looks like without armor. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
And then Pattinson comes along, they're like, he's not buff enough. I'm like, Pattinson's probably bigger than a majority of the other Batman actors in like the 90s. So
you got to be more like gymnastic and fucking, whatever you call it. You got to be able to do parkour more than lift weights as Batman, I think.
Yeah, there's like two schools of mind of it. I think there's like the leaner gymnastic type of body for Batman, and then there's the like just the brick house is what I call it, with just like the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns, the Dick Sprang, Ben Affleck's Batman, like that type. So somewhere in between, I think is good. Which I think is where Bale was at. So here's another shot of just, again, you can't really see the suit very clearly, but it's just another thing that showcases the cape in a way and an explosion in the background. It looks cool.
That's kind of how he blends in with the dark too.
Yeah. So it's really cool to look at. Dan did provide me with concept art for the Dark Knight suit, but it is pretty much what we got. So I'm going to save that for when we do rank the different bat suits on that. So that skips us over to the next one. The Dark Knight Rises had the same suit. So next naturally is Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. And a lot of this concept art comes from Jared Morantz. Once again, we get kind of white eyes, but again, like that could just be because that's what it looks like in the comics. I would say the suit we're looking at kind of looks a little bit more like cloth than what we got in the movie, at least in terms of the texture. But the biggest thing I think that's different about this compared to what we got from Batfleck is the bat insignia is very different.
It's ugly as hell.
It's a kind of the same fat bat, but it's like, I don't know. It just does not look the same. I don't like it at all compared to what we got.
Looks like it's hanging upside down. it's a bat sleeping.
It kind of looks like that too. I still
got
see
his ears on his
the
top.
2 ears at the top. Yeah, I still see two at the top and one at the bottom. But still, there's something about this that just looks off to me in terms of the bat insignia.
Yeah, it looks like shit.
Yeah,
the rest of it looks pretty cool though.
Yeah, the rest of it is kind of close to what we got. I think there's this neck area is also a little different, where it's like it's all black up here as opposed to a cowl over the gray area. So I think they're still experimenting with that. This is more, they added, this is not necessary. There's like these little holes on the side of his fucking ear where his ear is, because I guess they're like, well, how can he hear stuff? What if we have this type of thing in there? I'm like, that's the type of shit that we don't really need, because it just adds more stuff in it.
Yeah.
Overthinking.
Yeah. And then we've got like this other plating stuff along.
That looks more like what they used for what his like suit in Justice League.
Yeah. We'll
his
see
tactical
some
suit.
Yeah. This is probably stuff that would carry over into that. Also, weirdly enough, I know that Affleck was cast, but it also kind of looks weirdly like Jason Momoa. in this middle thing. I don't think I'm alone in that. But we know Momoa did audition for the role and ended up getting Aquaman instead, which I think was a good move.
I think we need by the way, I'm going to quick tangent and bring it right back to the story, but we got to have Flash go into another universe and see Momoa as Lobo.
Yes.
And then we come right back to the regular universe. We just got to, now that we have multiple universes.
Yeah, just one scene.
Momoa is fucking Lobo, for the love of fucking God. All right.
So perfect. Yeah.
Back to the scheduled program.
It looks like they played around with the idea of lenses because they actually do have a shot of his eyes, but his eyes don't look normal. They're like white eyes, but like white,
kind of cloudy.
Yeah. So that's interesting. The bat insignia is still weird.
Still ugly.
It's better.
It's better, but if you notice in this close-up shot right here, usually the ears are like right above the point, and here it's like the ears are a little bit off from where the point is, so it looks even worse than usual.
They fucked with their perspective or something.
Yeah, I think it's the angle. I do like that the ears match the like gap where the clavicle would be, with that anatomy. But if you look, there's little tiny points on the bottom. They're like on the either side of the big point coming down. That looks really dumb. They're like little baby points. Why would they bother with that?
Little baby points here.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then they've got like some lines on the back of his neck that go down that almost look like they're trying to do some like digital thing.
Just random plating
robot
in
thing.
there.
Yeah. It's not necessary at all. Let's keep looking at more of these torso ones. This is now closer to what we got. So the bat is closer to what we got in the movie, and everything. This is pretty much what we got, actually.
Yeah.
I would say on here is just the main difference is the eyes are still looks like they're experimenting with something with the eyes, at least with that pupil shot that we saw earlier. So that could be a possibility, or they just didn't want to mess with it. They're just like, it's just going to be his regular eyes. I don't know. This one afterwards is back to that ugly bat again, and then I don't know if this is just something that's part of their watermark, but it looks like he's got different splotches on it. Maybe it's supposed to be the blood of his enemies. I don't know.
I think it's supposed to make him look a little grungier or something.
Yeah,
that texture.
This bat symbol is awful.
Yeah, it is. Like, thank God for the fat bat that we got.
That's right.
That bat was good. Yeah.
Now we got a war-torn version.
That's cool.
Of that, which is cool because you can kind of see the armor underneath. In a little bit. It's like cloth over armor sort of
Looks
thing.
like that Alex Ross where you see his real fucked up back.
Yeah.
But this is like that same Batman, but with his suit on.
Yeah. So this is cool. And then more of the same with that ugly bat symbol on the right. And then now we're looking at overly armored Batman that I'm glad they didn't go with. Because I would have fucking hated this.
This was like Dark Knight stuff.
Less brick shit house and more I don't know what to describe this. This is like Robo Batman.
Tron Batman.
Batman.
Like so much stuff going on. So many extra little pieces of silver and circuitry showing. It's kind of like Batman Beyond-ish if it was real, I guess.
Devil's Advocate question. Batman Beyond the movie. Something like this is acceptable or no?
Would make more sense. It would make more sense.
I still wouldn't like it. I like the fact
I would
that
like the traditional war, but yeah.
If it was like just sleek, like black with maybe like a sheen to it, I think that would actually look really cool. But they would never do that. They'd have to like overdo it and make it more like this. I don't know. It's just I think it's translating from animation to real life is kind of difficult.
Yeah,
where that's concerned. But it's I don't know if it would how I would feel about it.
Yeah, maybe like if it's an undersuit to it.
Yeah.
And then it's just the plain black on the outside. And then he like strips it or you go inside of it and it's got all the stuff inside. I think that would make sense. This is more of it. Now this is a full shot. And Jesus Christ, this is just not
like
the
an action figure.
Yeah, but also it's just we had enough of this overly segmented shit with the Dark Knight. So I'm like,
he's got those gauntlet things on his boots. It's got those little blades on there.
Calf gauntlets.
Yeah, that's true.
He's even got points on his shoulder blades up there, the top of his like shoulder.
He's got to do shoulder stabs, man.
Or is that do you think that's a clasp for his cape? I don't know. It's just extra
that's just a point. They're just extending that design element all over the place.
The bat insignia also looks a little Batman Beyond like.
Dude, if this was like a Blade Runner Batman, I kind of like it, honestly. Yeah. But to be like Dark Knight Bale, I don't like it. Or really that much.
BVS even.
Yeah, I mean BVS. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but like sci-fi Batman is kind of cool, actually. I think, but
yeah. For this one specifically, since this is a full suit, unlike the others, we could grade this one. So I would say this one. I'm giving this one an E personally.
Damn.
Whoa.
It's not quite an F, but
not quite a goose egg.
Not quite a goose egg, but it's pretty close to me personally. Zach, what do you think?
I would give it a C. I think I'm in Andrew's camp. There's something about it I like. I don't like the extraneous detail, but I do kind of like the far away shot where it's like silver with a black cowl and everything. And I don't know, something about it is kind of cool. Like, no, I don't think it fits that movie at all, and I don't want to see it like on Ben Affleck, but it's interesting looking. I don't know. I think it could fit in somewhere.
Andrew?
I mean, as a BVS thing, yeah, it's like an F. But other than like these curvy ears on it, I don't like that. I think other than that, if it was like a sci-fi Blade Runner Batman, I really like this suit actually. So I mean, in a fucking non-existent movie, in Batman Beyond type of movie, yeah, I actually give it an A.
Damn.
I would. I do think it's cool. I love this symbol. Just don't like those ears. That's it. I just want to see like tears in the rain from this Batman. You know what I mean?
It's almost
I want those worlds to cross over. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Also,
that's true. Yeah, I was thinking that he's literally the shining knight.
He's the detectives in Blade Runner, dude. Come on, man, this could happen.
Yeah,
I think as well that for these, I don't know what it was about these ones where it was like more armored up. There's another one.
I like this less.
They used Kevin Porter, who was the actor who plays Batman. Yeah, who was Batman in the Sun fan film. So you can kind of see in this one.
Do you think they were trying to nail down the mech suit or something with this?
Maybe we're about to see stuff for the mech suit too.
Okay,
but this feels like a weird in between type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is flat out Robo Batman without the helmet. I mean, it's
like a bumper.
It's so fucking silver. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. This is not for me at all.
Shiny and chrome.
Overthinking it, man.
Yeah. What they went with was the best.
Looks like Drax in a silver suit to me.
Yes. Yeah.
He's that big.
Let's move on to the armor for the suit that Batman wears when he fights Superman, which does look pretty close to what we got in the movie. I don't think we have that much more on it. This one looks a little closer on the left to what we got in The Dark Knight Returns, where it's a little bit more looking like armor
Garbage
over
can.
something else. Yeah. As opposed to just a full-on suit. But he's fucking huge on this. But the one that we have...
It's a big boy, man.
Big boy.
This is a big boy right here.
He's a chunky boy.
This is like almost like getting to the Blob from X-Men kind of.
Yeah.
Not quite that big, of course, but
yeah. I mean, it's still pretty close to what we got in the movie. We got this, which looks again close to what we got in it. But the one that I was interested in covering by Vance Kovac, this is the most different one.
I've seen this.
Now we got a red visor.
Yeah.
We got the mouth. The mouth opening doesn't show his face, but has like these like metal teeth thing or something coming from the bottom. It looks weird.
It's like a grill.
Yeah. And then there's a bat insignia on his chest. And it looks like he's carrying a fucking shotgun, which I'm assuming is the kryptonite. It's supposed to be the kryptonite gun, but this just looks like he's got a shotgun on it. What do you guys think of this one?
It's like a Superman in the lower corner there.
You're like, what the fuck?
About to blast him a new one, dude. This is murderous.
You feel lucky.
Yeah.
So blow your head clean off. So
I think it looks cool in an Elseworlds sense, but I like that the one in the movie tries its best to accurately capture like the Dark Knight Returns mech suit
Yeah.
and still make it work. Yeah, this is like Batman 666. There's that one like story. He's
Yeah.
evil Batman. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a decent evil Batman suit, I would say. If he's like he is out to kill Superman, then okay, sure. Which is what he is in the movie too, except it's
Yeah.
he has the redemption arc, and here it's like, well, no, this is the no redemption Batman. He's just straight out going to blow up Superman's face off.
But a curb stomp him, dude.
And curb stop him after, just to make double sure.
Oh man,
I would give this one, I don't know, B-. Like it's kind of cool, but also not really what I want to see. I like the one in the movie more.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, what would you give it?
I'd give it a B plus. It's cool looking. I like how dark and scary it is, but yeah, it just doesn't. I don't like the fact that I can't see Batman's chin at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this actually would probably make more sense, for him to be safer. But I just want to see like him like smiling at him or like making a mean face at him or something like that, sticking his tongue out.
In true badass form.
Him.
Yes. Sticking his tongue out. Oh man.
Yeah, Andrew.
So we've never seen this color combo, right? This is like tan and silver.
Yeah, tan silver with like a red visor thing. Yeah, the cape almost looks tan. I think that's just like
like
the
a
lighting,
brownish
maybe.
color.
But
yeah. So that's a little weird, I think. But it is a little toyetic, and what Snyder gave us was super toyetic. So I respect him for that. I mean, those, we all know Snyder's suits were awesome, but for this one, I could see myself even getting the toy for this, which is pretty high praise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a murderous Batman, it's not bad. I mean, they're just doing a take on the Frank Miller one. So I mean, I don't know. It's like a B- maybe.
Yeah. All right.
This Batman would go to Clark Kent's funeral and shoot his coffin too.
Yeah.
I mean, I could just see it. Oh, I saw that dirt float a little bit.
Yeah, we know he does that.
He's not part of the Justice League. So, Robert, if you're listening, Andrew wants a toy of this one and the Armored Batman one.
Yeah. Really,
I'll take one of the. Really all of these.
Every one of them are cool.
Next is the Justice League tactical suit, this is pretty close to what we got anyway. Yeah. I will point out though, this is no goggles. There are no goggles.
I prefer it,
and I prefer it too. Yeah, it looks like again the white eyes, but I don't know if that's just concept art. They're just like, whatever. We're gonna show his eyes, or if they were seriously playing with it. But I like it better without the goggles. So I don't know if we'll formally give a grade on this one because this is literally the same suit without goggles. But
yeah, that's cool.
Just wanted to show it. All right, and then the last one before the break is for the show Batwoman. This is concept art that we're about to see by Andy Poon for Batwoman, where Batman is briefly shown in silhouette in one flashback, and his suit is later taken by Kate Kane and repurposed into being the Batwoman suit. This is the original concept art, however, which personally I think is better than what we got in the movie. It's pretty traditional. We got the black and gray suit, mostly on the left, with a little bit of the face and shadow. The one on the right is a little bit darker, less of a contrast with the bat and the rest of the suit, but it's a little closer to what they did with it. I might prefer, I think I prefer the ears on the one on the left, where they're, to describe it for the listeners, it's basically just straight up, kind of closer to what we got in the 90s Batman movies, as opposed to the one on the right, which kind of has like this curve to it that I don't really care for that much. I don't know why, but it seems just weird, almost cat-like. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's almost like Catwoman's ears, but like, brought down a bit.
It's like Batfleck's Cowl's ears. Those
a little bit,
but types.
Yeah, except they add like this bend or like something in it.
Oh, like the indentation starting early.
Yeah, the indentation starts early from like the temples of his face, and I'm like,
that's more like the Bale. Yeah, the Bale Cowl's ears.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think of these?
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think the one on the left, the cowl reminds me of Jim Lee's Batman from Hush, like the spacing of the ears.
Yeah,
so
just
that's
a
one
little
thing
longer.
I can think of.
Yeah.
I like the one on the left. I like not being able to see his mouth at all and the shadows and everything. It's pretty cool. It is just like a
cool,
classic Batman outfit.
If they managed to pull off a shot like that in live action in the show, that would have been cool. Yeah,
we do need this shot where it's like the cape in front of the mouth. We've never really got
like Dracula.
That. Yeah, like the Dracula thing. It'd be so cool. Such a cool visual.
Yeah,
Keaton does it bribriefly,
right?
In Batman Returns, and when the fire
when there's the explosion.
Face.
Yeah. I want to see like a sneaking one. But, you know what I mean? Like a Hammer horror or some shit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I hate the ears on the right one as much as you do, but the left one is pretty good. It's pretty close. It's almost splitting hairs really at this point.
Yeah,
but,
it is. Yeah.
I mean, this is like gray on black, or it's mostly black on gray. It's mostly gray suit.
Yeah.
It's what do you call it? I wouldn't say plain, but like this is kind of like, I don't know. Well, it's more plain than the other ones, which is can be a good thing. It looks like a TV budget kind of thing, and pretty solid overall. I mean, it's like it could be A-, B+ kind of territory for me.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that.
Yeah,
like it's solid for what it is. It's not the greatest Batsuit ever, but I think it's pretty good for this.
Yeah.
So these are the Batsuits for projects that got made, but we're going to look at Batsuits for unmade movies after the break.
Lord have mercy, y'all. Do you like hounds? Do you enjoy pooches? Do you find yourself enjoying time spent with that of canines? Talking about dogs, y'all.
As you might have heard, Superhero Stuff You Should Know has now teamed up with Barkbox. For every month, you get a box for your special canine.
Pooches.
Or hounds.
That's right. One free extra month if you go to barkbox.com/superherostuffpod.
Follow the link and you'll get a free extra month valued at $35 and valid for all multi-length plans.
So get the Barkbox for your hound, for your pooch, for your canine.
Your doggo will thank you.
And we're back to discuss the Batsuits for the unmade Batman movies, starting with Darren Aronofsky's Batman Year One. Now, as we discussed with the Batmobiles, Aronofsky did have a tweet about the concept art saying, quote, "None of that Year One Batman art circulating the web originated from mine or Frank's work, so can't take credit or blame for it." I don't know if he was going after a specific one, but I thought we might as well go over it anyway because it's out there. So here's concept art for Batsuits in the Darren Aronofsky project. I will say, if you look at the cowl, the ears are very much like the original 1939 Bill Finger design on it, where they kind of curves out a bit. I have all of these in individual slides as well for us to go over, thanks to Dan. So let's go one by one and describe each one, starting with this very traditional one. So looks pretty standard for a bat suit. There might be stitching on the cowl, like in the Pattinson cowl, actually, but that could also just be the quality of the sketch. But everything else seems pretty cool. The buckle on the belt is sort of weird. It's like the circular thing, but maybe it's just because it's different from what we're used to. And then I look at the trunks area, and I'm wondering what the hell is going on here, because it looks like he's got...
That's a loincloth.
He's got a loincloth or some sort of fanny pack and loincloth combination here for the trunk. It's very weird. I don't know what's going on or what these points are right
so
here.
They wanted bat wing scallops around the dick.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
what this looks like.
Highlight your assets.
Yeah, pretty much.
And there's these weird like openings at the end of the gloves. He does not have gauntlets. He does not have spikes.
Yeah, this is like the early first appearance of Batman, I feel like, with the purple gloves.
It's super old school, and it also reminds me of Alex Ross again.
Yeah.
For some reason. It's like a not arts. I mean, just general design. I don't know.
The style overall, it could be Alex Ross. Like if I didn't know any better, I would have thought that it might have been him that did the sketches.
Yeah, I don't necessarily.
His neck looks real squatty.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
He's been doing a lot of shrugs, but yeah. Let's go into some more non-traditional ones. Don't ask me why this one we're looking at is maroon, but it's maroon. He's got like a maroon, not only a maroon torso area, but also the inside of his cape is almost like blood red, and he's got like lenses in the eyes, but they're not white. They're also
red.
maroon. Yeah.
Dude, this one's kind of cool. I would say like it'd be cool if it was like a
Elseworlds.
Gotham by Gaslight. He's fighting Dracula,
exactly. Yeah,
kind of thing. It'd be cool for that.
Yeah, but as like Batman Year One, yeah,
the kind of reminds me of Robin.
I like the tunic kind of style too. I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks like an old soldier uniform type of tunic sort of thing, which is kind of cool. But again, I'm like, this is fine if this is 1800s Batman, but if we're doing Aronofsky's Year One, this is kind of weird.
It's so strange because it was that script is trying to be so realistic.
Yeah, and to have this suit is like,
this is not that at all. It's cool though, but it's not that.
Yeah, no. The first one that we saw, this one is a little closer to that, where it's just like it's a regular Batsuit and stuff. But this one is like it's so stylized. It almost doesn't seem like that version. And it's pretty much variations of that from here. We got another version of that, but just with like this light blue color.
That. That's like the Gray Ghost mixed with Batman or something.
Kind of, yeah. I like it a little better with this instead of the maroon. Yeah.
It's interesting they have so much tunic going on for these.
Yeah, I know, right? But they really love the tunics. So we got rid of the tunics here, though, and the oval is blue, and it's smaller than the bat insignia. The lenses are blue. The collar looks a little bit less like a tunic collar, more of like the thick, almost like its own piece for the neck. It's weird. In a way. We do have the forearm gauntlets, but they look a little bit more homemade. We can see the straps on the bottom of those. We don't really see spikes yet, at least not from this angle. The belt looks weirdly futuristic as well.
There's like gaps in between the belt buckle and the like compartments on his utility belt.
This looks almost like a mix of Year One and Batman Beyond to me. Yeah. So that's kind of weird.
It's like he's carrying vials, or
what
I mean, like he's got a syringe and he's gonna vaccinate somebody or something.
There's only one way to solve this problem.
Force it.
Blam! Vaccinated, bitch. See me in 3 weeks. Or I'll see you. Yeah. I'll see you in 3 weeks. Blam!
I almost didn't realize he had a color behind the bat symbol until you told me.
Yeah.
It almost blends
it's very
in.
subtle. Yeah.
It's like a halo.
It's almost too, like, what's the point? If it's going to be like that, you might as well just keep it to be the black bat on the gray.
That's true.
Next up, we're getting a little bit more traditional here, but what the hell is up with the bottom stomach into the trunks? Kind of becomes.
He's got them underwears pulled up so high that the belt is on top of them.
Nah, man, he's just supporting his back once again. He's gonna lift some heavy shit, bro.
No buckles. It's just all vials. It's all COVID vaccines around his belt.
Moderna,
get him canceled.
Pfizer.
So, but yeah, other than that, and then you don't really see the straps on the gauntlets anymore.
No, they look like regular gloves.
Yeah. We still got this weird neck thing. He's got this neck brace thing on it, which I guess it does protect his neck. But
protect your neck. This one is awkward, kind of awkward design, but maybe they were going off that fucking circus strongman shit that Superman is based on. Like that's what it looks like. And again, to describe to the listener, it's like the pantalones, the panties, the briefs,
the bat panties.
The bat panties have the coloration is usually black, right? Well, a lot of designs. It's gone way past the belt, literally under up to the point under his rib cage, almost to his armpits.
It looks like he's in a corset.
Yeah, this is a design you do not see very often. I mean, other than that, it's kind of badass looking. Other than the vials and shit, it's like pretty standard. But it's a little awkward. You'd never see this really.
I had too many burgers, Alfred. Please tighten the suit so that I don't show my stomach.
Even tighter. About there. I'm gonna go fight crime.
Those vials are just gonna bust off of him at any point while he's flying around Gotham.
Damn it! I need more.
His gut's gonna bust it out, and then the fucking vaccine's gonna fly in somebody's face. Yeah, vaccinated that way.
I'm Fat Man.
Johnson & Johnson.
All right, let's look at something else.
Oh, shit, man.
All right, this is more traditional. We got the yellow oval. The bat symbol is now within the oval. And then the belt's more traditional. The belt still kind of looks like a weightlifter belt thing mixed with files and stuff. But we at least don't have the corset looking stuff on here.
Still got the vials.
I think this is a little better than some of the others we've seen in terms of the movie itself. Might not be as cool as the tunic stuff or an Elseworlds thing, but a little closer to what you'd expect.
Pretty cool. Yeah, if we had seen this live, it'd be like, damn, all right, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, especially like post Batman and Robin era, where it's just like, this is Darren Aronofsky's year one, and this is his suit. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, and this is the homemade quality to it. Because in the script, he like takes a hockey mask and he like paints it black and stuff and puts it on, that's part of his helmet. So that type of stuff. It's very homemade, homemade-y feel to it. So I can see this sort of translating into that in some way. Now this is interesting that we're looking at now, where it looks like Batman Beyond, but with blue instead of
with
red.
navy blue, and the symbol.
Yeah,
I like the belt though, because I do like that design for Batman Beyond, where it's like a circular buckle and then just like separate compartments. I think it looks better because his bodysuit is black, so it just kind of blends in.
Yeah, so we're looking at an all black suit, except the eyes are blue. The symbol on his chest is pictured like a blue Batman Beyond symbol. And then because the rest of his body is black and so is the utility belt, you don't really see the belt so much as the like compartments and stuff. So we have like this circular blue belt buckle in the middle of his, in the middle of his body with these vials around his torso. Looks cool as like a Batman Beyond suit. I don't know about like a year one suit, but as a Batman Beyond suit with like a traditional cape as opposed to the one in the animated series, this would work pretty well. Maybe just change it from blue to red.
Yeah, I'd love to see it with red accents. It could be kind of like a proto Batman Beyond suit where it's like when he's still, Bruce Wayne's still Batman, like in a pre like super futuristic world. So kind of interesting.
Yeah, I like it. It does look like a clock on his belt though. But it is kind of cool.
What time is it?
Yeah.
Let me look at my crotch.
Yeah. Shit, it's upside down. Alfred,
I need to fix my crotch. Fix my crotch watch. All right. Next is this design, which again has the smaller circular area that the bat is over. So it's almost like, what's the point on that? But yeah, similar with the belt and the inside, at least on the one to the right, the inside of the belt is like a light blue as opposed to just one color for that. So I don't think they've really done the whole like inner different color of the cape for a bat suit that much outside of the Adam West one. Even then, I think the Adam West one is the same color. So it's interesting that they played around with it, and we're also looking at like an early grappling, not a grappling gun, because this is down to basics Batman, but he's just got a rope with a grappling hook at the end of it.
Right.
This is like him throwing it to the top and then climbing it himself, Adam West style on this. So
that's
interesting to look at. And the next we're going to look at is concept art from Drax Hall Jump Studios. That's a lot more complicated. Not a little, just a lot more complicated. He's got straps all over the place. Look at this. I got straps. He's got a thigh belt. For God's sakes, he got a fucking pouch on his thigh. A belt that goes over his crotch, under the belt.
Was this ridiculous. Like late 90s?
We're talking 1999. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was so in style at this time for some reason. Like it reminds me of, Jim Lee's Cyclops as well. Just has like a bunch of fucking patches.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's a lot. I'm like I guess I kind of get it because he's like homemade vigilante. He'd have a lot of stuff on him, but I lean a lot more towards like the just bare bones type of thing for homemade versus like this overly complex, super like tons of pouches and stuff on him type of thing. He's got like knee pads on here. You can kind of see the holes of like the top of hockey mask type of thing on the front of his face on here. It just looks weird.
Yeah.
And then this is a closer look at some of that type of stuff. You can just see how protected he is down here for his shins with his shin guards.
These feet look like a cartoon, like Looney Tunes or something.
Yep.
It's like way too big.
Yeah.
I know it's a sketch, but still.
Yeah. Well, that was the year one stuff. The next one and the last one we're going to go over because we have a ton from George Miller's Justice League Mortal.
Oh, shit. Everybody
we covered this in
that.
the podcast. Yeah, we covered this in the podcast, but we never went over the actual concept art. I think at the time that we covered it in the podcast, it wasn't released yet. But for those who don't know, George Miller, who did the Mad Max movies, as well as the Babe movies, wanted to, more importantly, the Babe movies,
That's true.
wanted to make a Justice League movie before Zack Snyder. This is way back in 2007, 2008. Back then, Batman was going to be played by everyone's favorite cannibal, Army Hammer. Before everyone knew about that too.
Fuck, man.
And it was going to be a very different movie, and it just never got made. So we do have some concept art. The first one, I do have a disclaimer because Dan and I tried to look for proof of this. It was said to be concept art on Reddit, but we could not find a source. So this might be concept art, and it might be fan art. We'll leave you to judge. But this is a blue costume with the traditional gray area, a huge black bat that stems all the way down to like the middle of his stomach in a way for that. I don't know what's up with the pose. It looks like he has to pee and covering his crotch, but
his belt is really low if you think about it. If he moved his hands proportionally to his arms, they look strange.
I get the feeling this is fan art, man.
Yeah, I think so too, but I wanted to include it just in case I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But the rest of these we know are more legit because they come from, once again, Ryan Unicombe, who's working on the Justice League Mortal documentary. So he does have access to some of these things and did release a few things that he was allowed to show for concept art. And I'm going to tell you up front, most of these are really bad.
Whoa.
So what we have here, we have yellow streaks down the eyes of his cowl.
This looks like Walter White put on a fucking bat cowl.
I am the one who knocks.
The exposed nose is unacceptable.
He's got an exposed nose. He's got almost like filters around the eye areas. He's got like stuff that's similar to the year one suit with like a neck collar thing.
Yeah.
He zippers up along the sides close to his shoulders. And the idea was that his suit would be like gray from like the top of his chest down to his thighs. No utility belt seen. There's not a yellow oval. There's just a yellow, I don't know, just a yellow rectangle.
Swatch of paint,
Swatches of paint down his stomach and then the bat suit over it. It says he has photoelectric eye covering that changes from clear to black and white. I don't know what. I guess it like would go from being translucent to being like
black, like sunglasses,
or like the white to show the comic book thing. I don't know. It's weird. It says Keller Army style shoulder padding and neck brace helps create a cut and defined figure. Even the body underneath is wasted and damaged. High visibility of stitching, zips, and snap ties, and damage. So Batman at one point was going to get fucked up by Superman. In this movie.
I'd beat him up too for wearing this outfit.
This is what he would wear afterwards. And I guess this is really weird because they're like, Batman's all broken and beaten and old. And I'm just like, Army Hammer was like 22 at the time. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
When he was cast.
True. That's true.
Like, this is a younger Batman than Christian Bale, who was still Batman at the time. So I don't know what they were thinking with the whole like, he's old. I'm like, he's not. He's young as fuck. So
these super thigh-high boots, dude.
Yeah, that too. So this
the
is
highest we've
weird. Yeah, this is the weirdest, and this might be the worst of it, but the rest aren't necessarily that great either. So this is another look at how the eyes would work and change into white, and this is a little bit more. This is a little better. It looks like he's got weird chainmail that covers him from the stomach down to the thighs. The inner thighs.
So let's look. It looks like we got some ninja tabi boot split toe action too, right?
Oh, I didn't notice that, but yeah, that's a good point.
So this is something that I struggle with design-wise when I see in cosplay too. I'm such a fan. Again, sleek as you can get. I love the Ninja Tabi boots. Anything that looks like it's super lightweight. But a lot of cosplayers will put on a big ass Doc Martens and shit. But the thing is, like, there is like utility in that, and it would hurt like a motherfucker to get kicked with one of those. So I get it. I'm of two minds about it, but like aesthetically, I like this is the best boot so far for me. Like these like ninja style greaves and boots, but
what if he
but
stubs
the rest
his
of
toe? You know,
he doesn't do that, dude. Batman doesn't do that.
Alfred.
He could actually like hold he like shoots a grapnel gun up onto the building, and he's like sliding with his toes on it because he can fit right between those two toes. He's sliding on that wire.
I guess Batman would have some big ass leg muscles, but I just always feel like you would want like a real quick, swift kick, and like lighter shoes would help for that. Not these big ass, humongous Doc Martens or whatever they are, utility boots. Like that's another thing about Frank Miller. You know, Frank Miller draws these like humongous boots, and it's just personal subjective preference. I understand if you don't like it or if you like it, but that's just not the aesthetic I'm drawn towards generally.
They still have this stupid like yellow paint streaks over the eyes.
Yeah.
And his nose isn't covered either.
No.
Yeah, his nose isn't completely covered either.
The paint streak like behind the Bat logo, just like a random streak.
Yeah.
Literally, the only thing good about it are the fucking shoes. Really,
I mean, if you think about like minus the chainmail, his shoulders and like the arms and stuff, that it kind of reminds me of the Pattinson Batman a little bit. Even the collar, if you like see like from what I can see of the costume, there is like a little bit of a collar on the like Pattinson suit.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. I think Ryan himself, the guy who's doing the documentary, has pointed out there is a similarity between the Pattinson suit versus the Batman suit in Justice League Mortal. So, but not obviously not this one, but like one of the final designs that they did. So let's keep going through this madhouse. This just looks fucking naked. He has no utility
crossing
belt.
them arms.
It's almost like his crotch is blurred. In this suit, basically he's gray from top to bottom, and there's no utility belt to break it up, and there's no trunks either. So he just looks naked.
He looks like he's wearing long johns.
Those proportions are off too.
Yeah.
His torso is way too long compared to those short little stubby legs.
Yes.
Either that, or he's got a full load in his drawers, and they're just drooping down.
He shat his pants after fighting Superman.
He's got a lot of guano hanging down there.
All right.
Why are they covering the nose? Damn it,
let's not more of this monstrosity.
I know, dude. It's just some. Look, I mean, look. Obviously, you got paid for the concept design.
Yeah, that's true.
You're a professional artist. I get it, but these are just not my favorite.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
All the stuff we looked at earlier in the first half was better than this.
Yeah.
Okay, this does not even look like Batman at this point. This is just like weird cosplay. He looks like he's got bagpipes behind him.
It's better than the others, though.
It is. That's true.
It looks like
his whole face is covered too.
Kind of steampunk almost. Or something.
No, Andrew. This is not better than the other ones. This is like if this is better than the other ones are turds, and this is dirt.
I mean,
like, it's just. What is going on with his head? He's got this giant head that's like no face on it whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't know either.
His legs, the legs are off too. Look how thin the knee joint is on all that. I don't know.
He's also got a clear cod piece right here.
He does.
Get that bat dick.
It's not even a very big one.
Bad dick shaming Juan over here.
That's right. That's good. You change your name right now, Ben. You change it on there.
All right, let's look at this one. So pouches galore.
Wow.
See, this is what I'm talking about, dude. Too heavy. I need my swiftness. I need the sleekness.
He looks like he's gonna drop down on criminals and just crush them. Just from the sheer weight of what he's wearing, and then not be able to do anything afterwards. He's
can't fight. He's got too much going on. He's got goldfish. He's got everything in those pouches.
Goldfish.
Carrots.
When I'm hungry.
Exposed nose again.
There's no bat insignia on this one. Also, it looks like he has a mustache. I don't know what they were thinking on this. Like, there's goggles. It looks like
he's got them goggles. Snyder probably saw that and said, "I'm gonna do that for mine,"
but nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, it's the kind of like, it looks like the amount of shit people, like the actual armed services carry. It does look like that heavy, but you know, it's a guy wearing a bat suit. You know, we don't need all that.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
it's like paramilitary or something, like these straps and stuff he has on. Like there's a parachute somehow attached to him.
Yeah, it's just too much.
I don't like the lack of gloves. I don't know what I'm looking at. It looks like,
I don't know. It's
almost like a skeletal hand.
Yeah, he's got a skeleton like fingers over his real hand or something. Maybe some sort of metal apparatus. I don't know. But that's what we got for this. And then they decided, you know what? Why fuck with it? Let's just go traditional. Let's just do an actual Batsuit.
It's not bad.
This is the best one so far out of the Justice League Mortal stuff because it looks like fucking Batman. Cowl covers his nose.
It's like OnStar Batman almost or something. Like he's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So this is the best one so far of the concept art. There is stuff about the actual costume that was made because they did make a costume.
Wow.
Thankfully, it did not look like the other stuff that we were looking at. So Armie Hammer himself said that the costume was, quote, very, very character specific. It did have a semblance of a battle armor feel, but at the same time, because it was so character specific, it was all made out of the finest materials. So because Batman has such incredible resources, his utility belt was made from the finest Italian leather and highly polished. And the things that would come out of his forearm. Now this makes me pause because I'm just like, things that came out of his forearm, like those dart things we see with Pattinson. That's, I don't know. But he says they were titanium, but wrapped in very fine leather. I mean, it was all really very well done, very utilitarian. This was before Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight had come out. This was going to be the first movie where Batman would be able to turn his head in the cowl. We had the first Batsuit that let the head turn. It just never got the chance to make it onto the screen. So that's his description. He didn't go that much into details of what it looked like, but we do have a shot of the cowl.
Interesting.
Nice.
And it looks like the Alex Ross cowl. Very much.
Yeah.
That we're looking at. It's not colored yet, so for those who are only listening, it's like
oil-based clay.
Yeah, it's not colored black yet, so it's not there. But you can kind of see some semblance of the Alex Ross stuff. And then I have another shot here with different cowl designs. I don't know what's going on with one on the top left with like it's got webbing on the, behind his ears.
I don't know why they can't get this right, man.
Oh my god!
To me, there's like two basic designs. You got the Frank Miller short ears, and you got these ears, and that's about it. Why do we have to fucking do these other fucking ears? You know?
I don't know. You got ears that go up and then curve back, like turn back. That we see on the bottom.
Yeah, they look
left.
like I don't know. They look like handles to a bicycle. The ones on the bottom left.
That's,
like you could
that's
just
not
like
what
ride
you would
around
want with bat ears. Yeah.
The cowl to the right looks really cool. Like getting to see another shot of the sculpted one out of clay. Yeah, that looks pretty nice.
It looks cool. Yeah, I'm like, okay, they were going traditional. It looks like in the final design, as opposed to these other monstrosities we've been looking at. It also says goggles inside of the mask to get closer to eyes without interference. So that's interesting. So they wouldn't have goggles on top like in the actual Justice League movie. They would have goggles inside, I guess. I don't know. It's basically lenses at that point.
Yeah, that's just to give I think that's what the white lens thing.
Yeah. And then I kind of like this one on the bottom, in the middle bottom with the shorter ears. It's kind of like an Adam West quality to that. That I kind of like. Not as much as the Alex Ross one that we got on the far right.
Flat-ass forehead and nose.
Well, yeah, just like the one here. I'm talking more about the one like right in the middle.
Oh no!
Yeah. But this one here is weird. That I'm looking at with as you said, like it's really flat nose, and the ears are so short, like. I don't know. He almost looks like a bird. If you take out,
like it'd be like Red Robin's cowl or something.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, to end this, we have a group shot of the Justice League mortal costumes.
Well, goddamn.
It's not very high quality, unfortunately, but these are not necessarily the cast. I believe that's Megan Gale as Wonder Woman, who did play who was cast in it, but that does not look like DJ Catrona as Superman. That does not look like, that's definitely not common as Green Lantern on the right.
Yeah.
But we have Batman, and I don't think that's his main costume. I think this is his costume for the end, because it looks like he's got a bunch of like hydraulic stuff inside his suit, and I have a feeling this is after he gets fucked up by Superman. So this might be like an end costume thing.
Does that Aquaman have a harpoon hook for a hand?
I think he does, because I think it's the one-handed Aquaman.
That's
in the
pretty
script.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man, Green Lantern really got the shaft. That costume is really like Party City like costume.
Yeah.
Flash looks more traditional here. Superman does not have the trunks, but looks pretty traditional. Outside of that, Martian Manhunter is prosthetics, not CG. So that was different from what we got now. But yeah, unfortunately, we can't really get a clear shot of what the Batsuit looks like. It still looks untraditional, but I think this is for specifically the end suit.
I'd be interested to see it up close and like to full detail, because maybe I'd say it's right now from this fuzzy picture, it is in between the final shot of Bruce Wayne as Batman in the Gotham TV series and Pattinson's look. There's like something there, but it's all of these still look a little cheap or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the colors. They're very vibrant. I mean, Aquaman looks, I think, maybe the most interesting other than the short hair. It's just like, I don't know. And Green Lantern, that's like a real, or not Green Lantern, sorry. Martian Manhunter, that's a really good costume, like along with the prosthetics. They look very comic accurate, but it's like they're almost too like bright or something. It's I don't know.
It might just be the lighting, because this is not like the shot for the movie. This just looks like line up everybody just so we know what the costume.
Yeah, like a photo shoot.
Yeah. So it's the closest we've gotten so far until that documentary comes out.
Flash, I think, is the best maybe here. Well, Wonder Woman's pretty good too. Yeah, they're all.
I'd say the middle.
decent.
The middle ones are probably the best ones. You know, Flash looks more traditional. The armored ones that we've been looking at in, the Snyderverse, the Aquaman one is more traditional than what we were probably expecting. Wonder Woman's pretty standard. Like it's decent. I think it'd be interesting to see more or a higher quality version of this. But yeah, that is pretty much these are the Justice League Mortal costumes. I'm glad they went a little bit more traditional in what they actually made, because that stuff was god awful earlier. Like if the year one stuff was like high B's, maybe A's, this one was just straight goose eggs.
Straight up goose eggs.
Goose eggs until we got to like the more traditional stuff at the end.
Oh, the ears with the webbing and the ears are going in the back. That's total goose egg.
That's a goose egg. Yeah.
Total goose egg. This is a kind of a shiny black too on Batman.
Some of it,
Yeah, I think some of it is silver. Like I think some of it is like some hydraulic stuff on like the legs or whatever. Like I don't know. It's tough to tell from just the low quality of it.
So him and Superman are buddies again after he beats him up. They're stand there and take a picture at least.
In this scenario, it's because Maxwell Lord took over his mind. But yeah, they're buddies again.
I don't even remember us talking about that, but I know we did.
We talked a little bit about it, but it was mainly an episode before you came on.
Okay.
On that, yeah. But
I gotta give props to Aquaman. I love that harpoon hook hand. That looks pretty cool, even from
it's
here.
Cool. Yeah. So, what did you guys think? Which one do you have favorites and least favorites? I think everyone's least favorites are the Justice League Mortal ones.
Whew, man,
those are the goose eggs.
Those are like objectively bad.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll start with Zach. Which ones did you think?
I gotta think back now to everything we've seen.
I'll do. I'm pulling up some of these from the very top. Hold on. So
what's all right. I think that one of my favorites is probably that. I think it was the second or third blue black Batman and Robin concept art we saw.
I'll skip to that.
Surprisingly, I think that was one of my favorites. Keep going with that one. I think that one is my favorite that we've seen so far. Mm-hmm. That one, and then probably the concept art one for Aronofsky's Batman that was solid black that we said looked like Batman Beyond, but with blue.
Yeah, that one's cool.
Yeah, I think those two have been my favorite. They were pretty interesting looking.
Yeah, nice. Andrew,
can I see the slideshow view or whatever, the slides. It doesn't matter if they're smaller. Let me just go through these real quick.
Okay, so from the top, we got the Adam West stuff.
Yeah.
We got the blue 89 stuff, and then sort of the more muscular 89 stuff. The Keaton Batman Forever Sonar suit, the Batman and Robin stuff. Slide doesn't really count. That was just the cowl. Batman Begins, which is pretty close. The Batman versus Superman stuff, where we were glad we got what we got. The armored stuff. I know you like this one as like an Elseworld.
For an Elseworld sci-fi. I got this is probably my favorite of today. Actually, other than these ears, the way they curve like that. But it's kind of solid, man. I want to see him in like a hovercraft Batmobile. I want to see him, fighting androids. Yeah, this one's cool. This is my answer.
Cyborg Batman.
Cyborg Batman.
Yeah. Let's see. Some of my, I do have a lot of nostalgia. Not necessarily nostalgia, but like kind of a cool, like, what if with the Adam West costume if they fix the ears.
That one, as the toy, this is pretty good.
As a toy, I'm just like,
cool.
I kind of want this toy more than I want to see this in live action.
Yeah, this is cool.
So I do really like this one. Even though, I gave the actual one in the screenshot a C, but like the actual toy itself, I'm like, I'd be cool with that. And then I don't know. I know you're not a fan of the silver, Zach, but there's something about the way this looks to me that I kind of like more than the one.
It's still
in the movie.
pretty cool.
So I don't know. Maybe part of it is just like, well, if he's already got silver in the suit, he might as well on that. Like, it's to me, as long as the bat insignia can be seen, I like that more than it being like blended in.
Right.
So there's that. And then for year one, I think the more traditional, the best on that one. So I'd probably have gone with just this one with the yellow.
That's cool.
On that. Or maybe this, but without the fucking corset.
Yeah.
Without the corset, it's fine.
Yeah.
So, those are the Unmade Batsuits, and that is superhero stuff you should know. All right. Big thanks to our research assistant, Dan, for gathering the visuals for us on this one, because that was a lot. So thanks a lot, man, on that.
Thank you.
Moving on to our fan comments, we got a comment on our Make the Batfleck movie episode from JP Fawn. JP says the DCU should do an adaptation of Christopher Priest's Batman vs. Deathstroke from the comics. It was really well done and had Batman interfering in all of Deathstroke's assassination attempts. Cool. It was more of a game of chess between the two adversaries. It even had Alfred and Wintergreen, Deathstroke's version of Alfred, meeting in secret to discuss their concerns over the matter. I think we even talked about how there should be an Alfred versus Wintergreen fight.
Yeah, that's what I want. That was fencing. Sabers at dawn.
Yeah, you sir.
Yeah. That's the battle of the century, bro. That's really what I want.
I do want to read this comic. I have not read it yet, but thanks, JP, for your comment on this.
Thank you, JP.
Next is from one of our supporters, Batman Night Fan, on the Athena Finger, reacts to the Batman trailer 2. Batman Night Fan said, quote, I always wanted to see a 7 movie type of Batman movie, 7 referring to the David Fincher movie, ever since I saw that movie years ago, before Nolan's movies. My favorite is Batman Begins, but this could be my second favorite, if not first. Cool. Yeah. No, I'm definitely looking forward. We're looking forward to the Batman on that. We're prepping for it by just going over and revisiting a lot of this type of thing, these types of episodes, and finding concept art that may have been inspirational for
I'm
it.
trying to taper my expectations. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes. And the last one comes from our friend Walter the Robot. I thought I would throw you in there, Walter. It's been a while since we addressed one of your comments, but on the Ranking the Batmobiles episode, you said, quote, regarding the design influences for the Tumbler, Christopher Nolan is a big fan of Blade Runner. And one thing he mandated to Nathan Crowley was that he wanted the front of the Tumbler to have no central drive axle. This sort of mimics the flying cop cars from Blade Runner. Interesting.
This reminds me, I think that he had part of his crew, at least the core crew, watch Blade Runner to get the tone he wanted for going into Batman Begins.
Yeah, I think
you've heard that,
true.
Ben.
Yeah.
So I could see that being a thing with a. I never thought about the central drive axle though. That's interesting. Still don't love the tumbler though, but at least see where his head's at least.
Well, you did have that one actor from Blade Runner,
Rutger Hauer.
Yeah.
Tis
think about that.
Yeah,
Tears in the rain.
It's kind of like how Zack Snyder loves Excalibur and put Kieran Hines as Steppenwolf.
That's true.
It's pretty much the same thing. Different influences.
Yeah.
But those are the fan comments. Thank you, Walter, for adding that. On to the shout outs. Over to you, Andrew.
Oh, man. Hey, Zach, you read them.
All right. I'm going to do Joker voice. I haven't done that in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, as always, to our Patreon subscribers. Shasta Leomo, Super Inframan, Douglas P., AMD, Aaron Willett, Nick Noir, Jesse E., Jeffrey R., Scott V., Askers Webb, Jeremy H., Alex of the Woot Mean Podcast, Ian Justice, Jared P., Paul C., Jamie H., Rochelle L., Tara M., Michael S., and Makayo. Is that pronounced correctly?
We're assuming that's correct. We haven't been corrected yet.
And thank you to our other supporters, Sparkageddon, SDCT Productions, Robert Schumann, Cookie Noms, Matt Herring, Elijah B., Shamrock, Balls, Ian H., Walter the Robot, John Wells, Rye Guy, Jackson Putnam, and 2AN.
Nice.
Oh, we've been... thank you, Joker, for that. And thank you all the Patreones and other supporters. Also, we've been forgetting like 1,000 times in a row, but Matt Herring is in remission.
Yes.
So if you go back just like, I don't know, 3 months or something, we've been meaning to say this for a while. But so, he's been in remission for a while. So thank you if you donated to his GoFundMe and all that. Those bumpers are in previous episodes.
Yeah, I saw a lot of names in the GoFundMe when that was still up on stuff from a lot of our supporters. So thank you for those who donated.
Yes, thank you. That's awesome. He's gonna live.
Yep.
Okay. So thank you to the Patreones and the other supporters, and please become a Patreon at patreon.com/superherostuffpod. That's where you can get the $1 tier, get you the shout out, and the $5 tier. Woo! That's the good one, everybody. That's when you get a hold of the show every Friday. And we do deeper dives and even review some stuff sometimes and things like that. So it's extra content there for everybody. And then we got the monthly meetup. That's the $10 tier. And that gets you everything on the $1 and $5 tier as well. And the monthly meetup is where you meet up with us and we have a little chat and talk about, what do we talk about, everybody? What we do recently? Themes.
We
react to shit together.
Themes. Yes.
Yeah, we make fun of shit. Oh yeah, Halloween costumes and all that kind of shit. Like, there's a topic we talk about all together. So, join that. It's live. Well, yeah, it's live with us. So join that at the $10 tier once a month. And then we got Superhero Stuff Pod merch. Redbubble store doesn't have Jokula, but the Threadless store does. So superhousepod.redbubble.com, superherostuffpod.threadless.com, artwork by Steph and Santa Cruz. And please send us some audio for the love of God. At superhousepodcast@gmail.com. Thunderwolf Drew on the Instagram and Twitter. Thunderwolf lives on YouTube. Thunderwolfdrew.com is my website. amanorecon.com. That's AMANORECON.com. Think R-rated and bloody. Stranger Things meets Power Rangers, or Kamen Rider if you know that one. So, and this poster is from Zacula. Thank you, Zach, for that. It's fucking awesome. We have shot something for it, but we're not quite done just yet. But some things have happened. Anyway, it's going to be Indiegogo, which is like Kickstarter, and more on that later. Ben?
Thanks. Shout out to Comic Capital on Instagram, as well as the Everything Entertainment Club on Clubhouse. You can also find us on social media at the various places. So we also have Twitter at Superhouse Pod, Instagram at Superhero Stuff Pod, TikTok, Superhero Stuff Pod, Vero, Superhero Stuff Pod. You can find my website at benwanrider.com, where you can read a couple spec scripts, including Gotham Vampire, where young Bruce faces off against the Mad Monk, as well as Elementary, The Death of Sherlock Holmes, a modern update on the classic story, The Adventure of the Dying Detective. My YouTube channel is in the description below, where you can also check out my new project, Doctor Who, The Ronin of Time, an audio drama that I write, narrate, edit, potentially the only audio drama that I will do all those by myself from now on, because my God, this was a lot. But
I'm done.
That's would have dropped around the 58th anniversary of Doctor Who, which is November 23rd. So that's before this episode. So by the time you guys hear this, that's already available, or should be. I got to go back to editing. Anyway, my personal Instagram is BenJuanWriter. My son's Instagram, Alfie, is at Alfie Pennyworth Cat, where you can follow the adventures of an orange cat that brings me joy every day. But if you have an Alfie yourself, then you can get him or her the Whisker Box, the only cat box with the crazy cat lady and gent or gent. And if you don't have a cat, but you have a dog, you can get the Barkbox, y'all. And that is a promo code that you can get from us at superherostuffpod.com/shop. You can access any one of these, whether it's Whisker Box or Barkbox. For Barkbox, you can get the first month off free, valued at $35. And the shop itself, once again, at superherostuffpod.com/shop, also has a whole variety of different affiliate links: eBay for Batman merchandise, Amazon stuff, Whisper Bidets for your hiney, all that type of stuff. superherostuffpod.com/shop. Over to you, Zach.
Oh, well, just like always, you probably won't check this out, but I'll say it anyways. You can go see my artwork at ZacharyJacksonBrownArt.com. And you can see me do my artwork on TikTok, on Instagram, and on YouTube's, even though I haven't updated it in about, a year. Just look up Zachary Jackson Brown Art on any of those platforms, and you will find me and see the kind of stuff I doodle.
Awesome. I'd say it's a little more than a doodle.
Yeah. a scribble or two every now and then.
Do you like to doodle? Do you like to draw?
Check out Zachary Jackson Brown Art.
All right,
I'll teach you how to draw a giraffe.
Oh, nice.
Send it in. We got a magazine for you.
Yeah. It was like to join an art school or something. So anyway, we want you to do us a favor, y'all.
I want you to tell all your friends about us.